Everybody want to be the greatest until it's time to actually be judged like one. Rings, stats, longevity, impact. I mean, pressure. We talk about it all. Tonight, we ain't ducking any of it. We're going to define what a GOAT is. You know, welcome back to the Winning Formula podcast. This is where culture meets competition, mindset, and everything at the highest level. I'm Tarai Bionic Brooks.
I'm Devin Alive.
And we're going to go straight out the studio. We're going to talk straight like we in the barbershop, man. I'm excited for this, Dev, man. We got a lot of opinions, a lot of different things on the floor, man. What's the winning formula mean to you, bro? Like, what are your thoughts on winning formula?
I didn't know what, bro, like, I think success leaves a path. So my thing is I want to make sure others learn how to win. I've been on social media for 16 years, and a lot of people have fallen off over the time. A lot of people have stayed, and I want to show that you could be successful on social media if you do the right things. And me personally, I'm still learning. I'm twice a student, one time a teacher, right? So I'm gonna always be a student. I'm always learning. What we want to do, what I want to do, is go link up with some of the best people out there in their field, whether it be music, whether it be sports, whether it be whatever, business. And I want to get them to release the formula. How did you become so successful? And on top of that, like, I just want to have fun. Like, you know, life is about having fun, and I feel like that's a big formula. We talk about, you know, I see a lot of stuff on how stress leads to death, how it leads to heart attack, how it leads to all kind of stuff. And I think that happiness and having fun is like a big part of the equation that not a lot of people think about. So, you know, just kind of showing and leading by example, and also searching for answers.
Yeah, I mean, mental health plays a big factor into your ability to be great, and like it's a huge part of the winning formula. If you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not doing all the little things that are going to make you great internally, I mean, you can't pour into nobody else's cup, right? And like, you got to be benefit to others, and you got to be of service and of value to others to really even get where you're going to go in your life. And yeah, I want to break it down with everybody. I think your mindset and your approach on everything, like, has led you to the point where you are today. Same thing with me, been on social media for a minute. We did everything from play to, you know, to train to helping others. And like, we just trying to put people on game, really, honestly. Like, that's my purpose of this. I want to share my testimony and my formula that's led me to the platforms and the places that I've been to help the next person, right? And I think bringing in other people from other industry to be able to help tell their story as well is going to be super helpful for y'all at home. If y'all tapped into the podcast, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all tap in with us, because we're building a culture and a community that I feel like is going to withstand the test of time, man. And today, we're going to really dive into some major topics, right? Like, in the league, you know, Super Bowl just passed, NBA All-Star right around the corner. We're doing a lot of different things in this space right now to shift the culture and move it forward, right? So I really want to touch on a couple of things that's been happening real recently, man. Like, lately, bro, the Super Bowl just went, man. Usually we tapped in with the Super Bowl, the commercials, the gameplay, everything. But something monumental happened in the Super Bowl today, man. The halftime performance was huge. You know what I mean? Like, but even before that, bro, you got a chance to interview and sit down with Chris Pratt and talk about the Seahawks, bro. Like, what did that mean to you, bro, being able to sit with a guy like that? And, I mean, in a sense, y'all predicted the future, bro.
So, I just thought we got a lot to talk about. From literally the GOAT movie to all the way dialing back to this. Like, it's a lot. I definitely want to talk about what happened at halftime. But before that, like, Chris Pratt was cool. Something I learned from him that I think that everybody can learn. And this is not just him, it's from other people that we interviewed.
Yeah.
He just makes you feel comfortable right away. Like, these people have to put on a face, right? They have to show face, they have to have energy. Chris Pratt, when he came in, like, first of all, when I went to where I was going to, everybody was kind of like in their own business. They was just chilling. I went into a room and nobody was really talking. And I was like, hey, good morning. And they was just like, whatever, you know, they was kind of looking at me. I'm like, okay, this is how it's going to be, you know, because I used to work in Hollywood.
Okay.
So this time out, you know, they told me to go down to the hallway, go into the room. I went into the room, and then the lady was like, wait, hold on, you're supposed to be sitting outside. I'm like, okay, my bad. Like, so I go sit outside, wait about 10 minutes. It's a dude next to me playing video games, and he kind of just like, I'm like, hey, bro, are you ready for this? And he just completely ignored me, kept playing his video game. I'm like, bro, you know what? I'm going to just be on my own stuff then, whatever. But I'm not going to stop being nice. So when they came down, Kylie Reese and Chris Pratt, they both looked me in the eye. What's up? Shake my hand real quick. So Chris Pratt came, he said, "Hey, how's it going?" Like,
oh wow,
came,
energy
from like 8 feet away, started like this. I'm like, oh man, he's powering up right now. So Chris, he just had good energy, and I appreciate that about him because he could have just been an a-hole.
That interview, a lot of people don't get a chance to do that in their lifetime. So, bro, big shout out to you, bro. I know you came a long way for that. So, man, your mindset with interviewing him and being able to do that on the fly, bro, stepping into new lanes, bro, you setting the standard, bro, for a lot of people at home. Where did you watch the Super Bowl, and how did you feel? Did you have a horse in the race? Did you have a dog in the fight or anything like that?
I didn't really care, but after like the whole Chris Pratt thing, and and I was one of the questions I asked him, who's gonna win the Super Bowl? His eyes lit up. He started talking crazy about it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, and then come to find out, he introduced them to come out onto the field. So I was like,
full circle.
That's full circle moment. And so I kind of had a little bit riding on the Seahawks. Like I wanted them to win, but like either. I'm a 49er fan, so
okay.
It's not even talk about that. But long story short, Chris Pratt, it was cool to see that moment for him, and just going back, I ran into a lot of celebrities that didn't really look me in the eye and really engage with me, and I'm fine with that. I get it, but he did, and for me, being a fan of like Marvel, Star-Lord, a lot of different movies that he's been in, actually. It was cool.
No, that's fire. I mean, I got a chance to check out the Super Bowl myself. Went to a lounge. One of my homeboys, his name is Donnell Blaylock or Donnie Savage. He does a little bit of entertainment. Yeah, so that's my homie from the city, man, from the mitten. And so he had a birthday party, a little get-together. I didn't have a dog in the race either, but, just from knowing the game, knowing football, Seahawks had a more complete team. And then shout out to the winning formula. Yeah. You had an interview with Chris Pratt that went crazy. So I'm like, come on now, we got to root for the Seahawks. The 12th man going to be in the building. So I was excited. Kenneth Walker showed out, Michigan State alum. I got some ties back to Michigan. I got to give shout out to my guy. I'm straight in Michigan, till I die, you know what I mean? But, I'm out here. I'm a transplant in L.A. We're doing some cool things in Hollywood, entertainment, movies, everything. Speaking with some real GOATs, man. So I'm really happy about, what people are doing in this space right now to really connect, back to what we're doing, right? Like you to be able to interview Chris Pratt, do all that cool stuff. Seahawks go out there and handle business, take care of business. It's crazy what the Patriots weren't able to do. Shout out to the winning formula the Seahawks had in their defense all postseason long. They was clamping. So, next season, I think, with the cap space that the Seahawks still got, they can go out and make some moves. They losing one of their coordinators. So, I'm gonna tie that back into the Detroit Lions, man. We seen how good they was with their OC. He went to the Bears. How good the Bears was this year. How not so good the Lions performed or whatever. I ain't gonna get stuck on that. But I want to give a huge shout out to the Seahawks for what they did in that performance in the Super Bowl against a formidable opponent in the Patriots. Like they got a lot of GOATs that came through their organization. When we talking about coaches, when we talking about GMs, and specifically for me, tying it back again to the Mid-Michigan, Tom Brady.
Tie it back
you know what I'm saying? Tom Brady, the GOAT, QB of all time, if you ask me, for what he did, right, where he was drafted, to then make his imprint on that league, put up the stats, put up the numbers, win the chips, and then also his overall influence on the game right now. Like, from a guy like me in Michigan, seeing a guy like that come up, wait his turn, sit, who was it, Bledsoe? Sit behind him for a couple of years, and then when his number was called, you fully take that opportunity and you run with it. And I think right now, from the GOAT perspective, those are the type of things that go into the formula in my eyes, right? It's influence, it's winning, it's mindset, it's, all these things that kind of are good for the melting pot or the formula or the ingredients for that, right? Do you have a GOAT when you talk about or think about GOATs of football right now, or quarterbacks? What's your thoughts on
You know,
that?
it's fun. I was raised on Barry Sanders, so like my dad sat me down and watched, and I know that's right up your alley.
Shout out.
So like he kind of taught me how to get shifty.
Yeah.
Just not in like
100.
obviously not on the basketball court, but
Yeah.
you know, seeing him made me want to do that on the basketball court. I was like when I play, I was like free safety. I was like hitting people, but I got too many concussions.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So like
be careful of that CTE.
yeah, I was if you was coming across that middle, I was putting my helmet right into yours.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how that was the end of my career. But it was always guys like that. My brother put me on to Jerry Rice.
Oh,
You know, that was my first jersey I ever had. So, you know, that's one of my goals. Deion Sanders.
come on now, come with it.
You know, I scored a layup one time and did his end zone dance. So, you know, shout out to guys like that. That's always been like a fan of older guys. You know, I'm a back in my day type of guy, you know?
Yeah.
So I always stick with guys I grew up with, and those are just my goals.
No facts. I feel that they make a difference, man. And like, yeah, it's a lot of GOATs when you think about football, especially from our era and things like that. Barry Sanders, Deion.
But it's interesting though,
They
because in
tough.
that sport, unlike basketball,
Yeah,
they don't really have the conversation as much, mainly because there's so many different positions.
Yep.
Right? In basketball, you know, we kind of look at LeBron as like a do it all. Kobe could play like 1, 2, 3. Jordan 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? So, but in football, it's a little different because certain people don't get MVPs.
yeah.
You know, certain positions, like you'll never see it. It's normally like the quarterback's gonna get the most shine. Like
That's facts.
you know,
QB is like the glorified position.
you see what I'm
for sure,
talking about? So it's a little different when it comes to football, but it's still like an interesting topic. It's a lot easier to have that GOAT conversation to me than basketball. Honestly, hockey, baseball.
I mean,
kinda.
we getting there. We getting there with baseball. I mean, I love to dive more into that. Like even with
Tiny?
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking, right? Like
Yeah, he can do whatever. He can
do
do
both
everything.
sides,
Yeah,
right? Like you
so-
do whatever you need to do. And like I think about it from a football perspective, right? You know, balanced teams usually going to take the win, and you usually going to be the best team in the league at the end of the day. And we look at it. Historically, playoff success, they're going to dominate. We saw that with the Seahawks this past Super Bowl. But the run game is going to matter. You know what I mean? This year, Kenneth Walker did his thing. But we got to talk about Sam Darnold, his come up and his ability to come back from, you know, bouncing around. He was with the Jets for a minute, losing. You know, you with Minnesota, you had them at the top of the league. You go, you leave. They're no longer as good as they once were. People are doubting you. You get in this position, and all postseason, you don't throw a turnover. You don't throw an interception.
Unbelievable.
And you manage the game, right? So want to give a huge shout out to people who just stay prepared for their moment, and that's a huge part of the winner formula, right? Like you just got to stay prepared and ready because you never know when your number going to
One
call.
of my favorite quotes is preparation plus opportunity equals success.
Come on now.
So you got, as long as you're preparing for it, you get your opportunity. What's going to happen, you already know. So long, you know, it's a lot of different examples I can go on, but that was one of the things that I built my winning formula on because I wasn't always getting the opportunity. And speaking of that, I actually wanted to really touch on this because we got a lot of stuff we want to cover. Halftime show.
Okay.
Halftime show. It was a lot of controversy behind it. I saw people saying, you know, we're going to shut this off. We're not even going to watch it.
Wow.
I want to know, where did your top 5, did that performance meet your top 5 Super Bowl performances?
In my lifetime, right, I can't really look at and remember a bunch of Super Bowl performances, right? So off rip, top 5 is easily there. Where does it rank in the top 5? I don't know if I give it top 3, but it's up there, right? Like,
Okay, so 1 out of 10, what would you give it?
1 out of 10.
Or what would you give the performance?
I think overall the performance, start to finish, from what they did, like from a video perspective and storytelling as well, and just how he used his platform, right? Like I feel like if you get an opportunity to be on the halftime of the Super Bowl, you got to use your platform for some good. And I feel like he did that, right? Like, so it was a little bit of everything, right? And I think out of 10, you know, just to answer your question, if I'm giving a Super Bowl performance, you know, a rank 1 out of 10, I'll give it a 9.
I'll give it a 9, okay.
I give it a 9 because it kept my attention. although I don't speak Spanish, I could pick up things here and there. It just kept my attention, right? And his songs got me moving. He paid homage to a bunch of different nations and brought people together, unity. That's what it was really about for me. And yeah, he just did a good job, bro. Like, in my opinion. What about you? What are your thoughts on the Super
So
Bowl?
I have an
halftime
interesting
performance?
take on this because my wife, and she's going to have to get mad later.
Yeah.
For me telling the story. She was just like, how do you feel about it? You guys should talk about this on the podcast. And I'm like, for me, I was like, I don't want to feel forced to have to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
Because it's very political. There's a lot of things surrounding it, and it's kind of political right now. But the thing is, and I was seeing Jake Paul post, and he was just like, I'm not watching, whatever the quote was. Yeah, he was like, I'm not watching. I think he's getting paid to say that type of stuff. Whatever.
Yeah,
We're not going to get too deep into it. But for football fans, a lot of them don't probably even understand what was talked about in the Super Bowl. Now, for me, my wife is Latin. Mm-hmm. My son is Latin. Yeah. So I have to have a respect for it. Me personally, I'm actively learning the language, but I didn't understand what was going on. I appreciated the art and the story being told and the message at the end. It was very clear what his message was. Yeah. But like, I'm not a Bad Bunny fan.
Okay,
and my thing is too, cool. I'm good at appreciating art.
Yep.
Whether it be culinary or basketball or actual artwork or musicians. And I understand if somebody likes it, there's a reason why they like it, right? But I don't connect with it yet. And the key word is yet.
Cool, yeah.
So now that I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it, it's like, cool. I didn't see a lot of really good performances, but I don't want to feel pushed to like it just because other people like it. I want to understand it. Yeah. And that's what I was trying to tell my wife, and she kind of felt a certain type of way because she was proud of it.
Exactly.
She had
a bias, right?
As she should. I remember when, certain things used to happen on TV and my parents were like, they would always talk about, oh man, that's a black man on that commercial. But me, I've been watching black people all my life on commercials. But for them, they're super proud of it in a way that I couldn't connect because I've been seeing it for my whole life. So tying it back into the Super Bowl, not even to be too long-winded, I appreciated it, and I probably would give it a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10 if I understood more, but I don't. So like me personally, like just seeing a presentation, understanding it, and having people explain it to me, I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Cool.
But like,
that ain't bad.
I want to understand it.
Facts.
It.
I agree.
And that's all.
I agree, because I ain't going to lie to you. Going into it, was I thrilled? No, because I didn't know his song. I mean, I know a couple, you know what I'm saying, that Neva, I heard that before. It was like, I heard a couple of the things, and like I grew up where one of my homies' closest best friends is Dominican, right? So it's like, I could see how proud people was, and I had a certain respect for it. But personally, I wasn't excited about it because it's like, bro, I'm not even going. I don't know what to expect, bro. I don't know if it's just going to be, I didn't want to be one of those people where it's like, oh yeah, I listen to Bad Bunny. I don't.
Can you name 2 songs?
The Neva Yo, that's one, and then the other one I probably could.
But I could I know the beats.
Exactly.
And because my wife played it, I can sing a few words. There's this song about like Father's Day, and like I kind of. Like when she's explaining, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like that's dope. I love the message, but like,
did I understand? No,
that's what I'm saying. And then she brought up the point. Well, you watched Kendrick last year, but me personally, I don't watch the Super Bowl for the halftime shows.
No,
I don't. I watch it for the football. And I know a lot of people tune in, but it's cool because it's a business model, right? The NFL's smart for bringing the top artists in the world. Right, and to perform, because now you bring a whole new audience. Now that Super Bowl yesterday, it wasn't for new fans, in my opinion, because it wasn't high scoring.
It wasn't.
It was a lot of defense, but if you appreciate defense, you would love it. If you was a Seahawks fan, you was really loving it. But all tying it back in, going backwards, like I appreciate it, and me personally, I have a lot of. I have a lot of Latin family. I'm married into a family, and I'm trying to understand them, and so I can't wait for the day for me to be like, oh, bro, like Bad Bunny's talk about this in this song and this and that, whoop-de-whoop, like, or whoever else, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways. And,
Nah.
and speaking of winning formula,
Let's tie that in.
and speaking of GOAT, he's working
now.
on that.
There we go. There we
Right?
go.
So,
The numbers he
success
doing.
leaves a path.
Yeah.
It's a blueprint. So I'm trying to see what he's doing too.
Yeah, he showed his whole culture, man. He showed everything in that. So yeah, he on the up and coming. He one of them goes. He's got the formula. It seems like right now he's capturing audiences and getting to people. And I already talked about the GOAT in that sport, right? Tom Brady in my eyes. You know what I mean? We talk about the championships, the accolades, the MVPs, the stats. You know what I mean? Like, and he won with 2 different teams.
So
it's
Tom Brady,
not
your
like,
GOAT.
Oh yeah, one without a question.
That's my go-to.
Without a question. Okay, we say less.
we on the same page.
Say less. You know,
it just
what I'm
makes
saying?
too much sense to me.
It's longevity plus winning and plus peak performance. Like, come on, bro.
Over and over and
you
over.
You can't deny that, man. So that's shifting gears right now. When we talk about GOATs, right? You said it earlier. When you think about GOATs in basketball, bro, it's a lot easier to find, right? Like you can really look at it and be like, okay, this person means this to their team or means this to the sport. This year, NBA All-Star. It's a little bit of a different format, bro. We got USA versus the world. And the concept is interesting, if you ask me. It's different, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity. It's going to work real well if it connects with Olympic development in my eyes, right?
Okay.
Like when
Okay,
I want to think about that, right? If players perform at that level, they can get a nod to go to USA team, right? On the opposite end, the international
that's the
side.
thing.
Come on now.
Oh, okay. That's
I didn't say it was a thing, but I'm just saying.
okay. Got you.
It's an opportunity, right?
Okay,
It's an opportunity for them to position it that way, which I think will be good for the sport, good for the format. But what are your thoughts initially on USA versus the world, the format?
Well, that's right up my alley because my goal is to see I've said this many times. My ultimate goal is to see the Olympics, whether I have something to do with this or not, see the Olympics be the best form of basketball. So my thing is, if you got some of those international guys, a lot of the time they're playing for their country and they're willing to compete.
Yeah.
So if that gets them to play hard, because a lot of Americans they just be like, I'm trying to get this game over with. It's a little break in the All-Star. I'm trying to hit this event. We trying to go party.
Fact.
They ain't really worried about no game.
That's
but the thing is, as a fan, you don't care about none of that. You want to see them play basketball.
See them hoop.
So my thing is, when we watch the All-Star game, I at least want to see it because I know what goes on at UCLA in the summer.
Come on now.
With some of the best players in the world, they be
hooping.
going at it.
Come on.
So, make it look like that. Why not? Because this is your chance. I know what growth means. And this is your opportunity to grow because everybody's watching. When you go out and nobody's in the dunk contest, okay, that's weak. We got Ja Morant and Zion, all these dudes flying sky high, but they're not in the dunk contest. But Kobe and Jordan and everybody, bro, I feel robbed that LeBron was never in the dunk contest because even if he just goes and just throws the ball in for 4 dunks or 3 dunks, people going to go crazy and at least know that he did it, And
respect.
Basketball players going to understand this. Maybe the other fans won't understand this, but basketball players going to understand this. A lot of dunkers would beat NBA dunkers all day, every day.
Without a doubt.
Because that's what they practice.
Yeah, they do that.
It's about the showcase of basketball players and talent.
Yep.
That's what we want to see. Them
level.
put on the show. Now, obviously, if they would take it serious and practice dunks, okay, we on to something. Now we really we in the game. Like if Ja Morant comes out and just does some of the dunks, he's already done.
Come on now.
But when you got guys not participating and then not playing hard and then this going to turn to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to. Hey, I'm fine if y'all never want to add one-on-one because it's going to make us make us grow what we doing a lot faster,
Balling, bro. And we talk about a proving grounds, right? Like
Facts.
we got proving grounds that we doing with our series and the Ball is Life.
Yeah.
And the All-Star game could be a proving grounds for USA players to get an opportunity to go hoop for the USA team. A guy like Jaylen Brown, right? That's a person that I think about. Like you go out there, USA versus international team, you hoop, you show them, bro, can't nobody really fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody really can't mess with me on no level. Then that looks at the committee like, why Jaylen Brown ain't on the USA team? Then you got to take the politics out of it and it's just hoops. But you see it, like you said, guys aren't willing to compete. Guys don't want to go sign up for the dunk contest because of politics, potentially. They don't know what it's going to do for their brand or do for them, or they don't want to be seen in that light. But we seen at the highest level, the best of the best, the dogs of the dogs, the people with the influence, the GOATs, the people with that winning formula, going to go show, hey, I can do anything I put my mind to, and I'm gonna go win. I'm gonna go compete. You say MJ, Kobe,
That's what we
all
want.
those guys,
This is what we
and that's
want.
the mindset we want, right? With a GOAT, right? When I talk about and I think about the GOAT. You got to have that type of dog, even in the All-Star game.
I'm going to go win everything.
I'm going to go win everything. And that's what those guys did. That's what they brought to the league. And when I think about it, the All-Star game, I saw the change of hands and the dynamic, right? When you see Kobe and LeBron going one-on-one in the All-Star game down the stretch, Kobe like, I'm scoring on Bron. Bron like, oh, I'm just going to pass it to somebody else for the game-winning shot. You get the opportunity to get the ball again to score, either tie the ball game up or win the game. You don't shoot the rock.
It's like weird to me. But you actually brought up the perfect person to like. Remember one of the best moments in All-Star Weekend that I can remember in the last few years was when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum went at each other it was only for like a few possessions, but I remember that.
Come on.
And I thought that was like really cool, like that they was really trying to get at each other for like a little period of time. Wish it would have kept going. Wish we'd have more. Maybe this side goes at it at that. Whatever it is. I just want to see from start to finish, like a little bit again. Now I understand the flip side.
Yep.
What if somebody gets hurt?
Yep.
Agents, teams, like they're pissed about that. But at the end of it all, I would just like to see competition. That's why we watch as fans, and this is why people would rather watch, and it's growing. They would rather watch YouTube basketball because they know everybody. But you got to understand why people like it. It's deeper than what people really understand. That people don't necessarily have all these other career paths. They still want to play basketball. So they're trying to make their livelihood through playing basketball still. So you're going to get the rivalries. You're going to get the passion. You're going to get people playing a lot harder on YouTube basketball. And so that's why people are starting to gravitate it, because what I once knew in the 90s or whatever, the early 2000s, dudes really going at each other.
Yeah.
Chris Paul used to go at Darren Williams.
Talk that.
Right? And it was a rivalry. T-Mac used to go at Kobe. And it was an actual rivalry. When Jordan and Kobe, when Kobe got a chance to play against Jordan, he was trying to go after Jordan. And Jordan was going at him.
Come on.
And so, like, that's what we wanted to see. And I think they even had an all-star moment too, right?
Yeah.
So this sport is built on competition and smoke. If you're not trying to chase it, like now everybody guarding these other matchups, and it's like, bro, like what are we talking about?
Come on, pick up.
Because you want to be good on both ends, right? And I get it. I'm a Steph fan. I know he at least give effort.
Pride, bro.
He at least give effort on them. He might not be the best of it. At least he gonna give some effort. I think more people should take on matchups and make it actually fun for the fans to watch. Because we looking forward to it. But it's like, he being guarded by him.
You ain't lying.
So, anyways,
no, you're not lying, bro. Come on, I get it too, bro. So, like, forget the scouting report and the scouting plan. What coach told you you're gonna guard, go pick him up at the end of the game.
That's a problem.
I'm gonna take pride in getting this stop, and I'm gonna take pride in going on the other end and scoring on you too.
Why do we like Anthony Edwards?
Come on now.
Because he be chasing smoke. He be going after KD.
About that.
He be going at everybody, so it's fun.
Come on, we need that, which leads to the bigger question, bro. When we think about the mindset in the United States, bro, are USA players being developed properly when it comes to mentality and how to play the game, right? Like,
that's an interesting question. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think the issue is talent. We got all the talent in the world. Like, we got everything. The issue is, like, the foundation and the mindset and the mentality of how they're being raised to play the game, right? With AAU and, different type of settings we're looking at, people aren't taught to prioritize the defensive side of the game or take pride in getting the stop. They're all about getting buckets. And, that's also a part of why people do like watching the 1v1 space right now. You want to see somebody bag. You want to see somebody get a bucket. You want to see the top skilled players go at it. But at the same time, you also want to see them on the other end take pride in defense. And that's where referees come into the space to moderate, okay, nobody's getting hurt. I don't think the players necessarily should worry about that, right? Like, that's not on them. And I think so many players have the mindset of, I don't want to get hurt, when it's not really your job. Like, you got to do the right things to take care of your body. Got to have the formula, got to get the right sleep, got to, the right diet, roll out, you know what I'm saying, lifting properly, being in the gym, right, doing everything in the off season, not partying, all that stuff, right? So my thing is, I don't feel like they're actually taught those things at a foundational level at the early age. And if they are, it's not coming from the heads of the organizations or the coaches. Right. It's coming from at home, right? Your parents and what they're teaching you. But for your parents to have that type of insight and knowledge, they got to have competed or done something at a high level. Instead, you just going to go what you're seeing on TV, and you're going to see the buckets or the foul baiting or, things like that. So my personal perspective is there are like subgroups of communities and of people in the right spaces that are teaching the right thing, but widely across the United States, I think we struggle, as a society, bringing that rawness and that authenticity to the game and how it should be played the right way at the highest level, sharing the basketball, taking pride on defense, and not just isolation. It's not all about me, my turn, your turn basketball. They're not teaching, in my eyes, all the proper foundations.
Name the last MVPs.
They're all been international. We're thinking SGA, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. Yeah, all international players. Luka. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's on the verge. He hasn't won it yet, but
Yeah.
I can see him winning one day, and he's like one of the premier players. I'm not gonna say that the Mecca is outside of the United States. Like, clearly, there's more NBA players in the NBA. I mean, obviously,
100.
The United States is still winning.
Yep.
In the Olympics. I just think that it's only a matter of time because how influence works when you got a Jokic, he's going to inspire. I've met a kid that reminds me exactly of Jokic, his favorite player, and he's Serbian, and he lives out in Canada. Shout out to him. I've been following him, but he plays like him. It's weird, and he dominates. Yeah. He dominates where he's at. He dominates, and he's going to be probably 7 foot. He's like 6'9" right now. So, anyways. Somebody's going to be inspired by Steph too, but somebody's going to be inspired by Giannis. Somebody's going to be inspired by these guys. And I don't know, bro. I think one day Africa is going to put out some of the craziest athletes that we've ever seen, bro. Like some of the way some of these guys are built. But I don't think it's there yet. And I don't want to say one way is better than the other, but I do. I've seen AAU and I've seen club. I would mix them.
Yeah.
Right? I would mix how they're going right now, but I can't necessarily say one is better than the other. I just value the way that they prioritize in Europe half-court offense.
Come on.
Because when it gets down to it, we play half-court. We ain't playing full-court.
Yeah.
We ain't pressing the whole game in the NBA. We ain't pressing the whole game in the EuroLeague. So it's kind of interesting to think about, and it's hard because you can't just nail one thing down because there's a lot of different factors that play. You actually talked about something, or talked about a lot of those factors. So, we can go. I can go on and on, being that I've traveled so much.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes down to it, like the perfect representation of something like this, in terms of, I always thought Jordan did things right, like. He played all these different forms of basketball, but he wanted to play in the USA, and he represented that mess properly, right? And he worked out, and he did this, and he played in the triangle. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I always thought when I think of Team USA, low-key, Carmelo is a person that comes to mind. Kobe, great representation, the redemption team. Jordan, great representation. Like when guys wanted to. Sometimes they don't even really want to. Yeah. So I value, even last year when LeBron played, Steph played, we need guys that want to play. Like this needs to be an honor.
Yeah.
And not everybody needs to attach that. Obviously we do a lot when we do for money, right? But like sometimes it's just about pride and representing your country. And when I've gone around to other countries, they would die for it. Like they would die to represent and win gold for their country. And I thought, I think that it's headed there one day. Basketball is a growing sport, and it's going to continue to grow as long as we got these players all around the world coming into the NBA and doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. And that it brings us to why we even ranking players in the first place, and like what goes into that, why we rank everything, right? Competition is going to drive the culture.
Right.
You know what I mean? People playing at the highest level, taking pride in your countries, from countries to teams to players. Like if you don't have a pride for a club you playing for, organization top end, you see it nowadays, everybody jumping teams or whatever. They don't take pride in the organization they playing for because maybe there's some not seeing eye to eye with the, the top ends or whatever. But like certain players that like were fans of certain clubs, and then now I got drafted to this club. They're going to take a lot more pride in what they're doing. Or if they're drafted by the same club and they stick with them, you're going to see more of that come out, right? Or a club that actually believes in them and give them an opportunity, right? So the desire to be remembered is going to drive the players in that instance, or, like, it's going to be one of the greatest drivers in remembrance and performance and things like that. So winning culture is going to create that hierarchy in a sense, I think, and that's kind of like where we look at things, right? So what would you say goes into the formula of how we're ranking out GOATs, or, what's your formula when it comes to that?
Man, it's tough because I have no big man as my GOAT in my GOAT conversation. And I know a lot of people, especially way back when, Bill Russell, he's not in the GOAT conversation for me. Mm-hmm. And I know he has a lot of rings. How many teams were playing during that time? When I look at how he played back then, I think that it's relative to the time, right? Because I think that these guys would adjust if they played in today's game, but they didn't, right? Kareem was excellent. My dad sat me down and made me watch Kareem games. Mm. He made me watch them. He made me watch Magic Johnson. Like, he recorded. Down the street, I have a garage full of VHSs. They're Laker games because I never really missed one growing up. So I don't have big man because I value skill. I'm a smaller guy. I value skill. I'll prioritize winning, right? Mm-hmm. LeBron's not my GOAT.
He's just going to get that out the way.
He's not my GOAT.
We're just going to get that out the way.
Yeah. I didn't say was you who's your GOAT. I said for sure he's not mine because something that you got to understand why. I grew up in the Jordan, Kobe era. Mm-hmm. Those guys mainly stuck with one team. Jordan was in and out. Like, he retired again, came back, played for the Wizards. I ain't count the Wizards.
Come on now. Yeah, it's a little different
situation. I don't count the Wizards.
It's a different situation.
But Jordan was known as what? A Chicago Bull. Kobe was known as what? A Laker. Magic was known as what? A Laker. So I knew them for sticking with a team. And I get player movement nowadays, so it's not like a lot that I can say. I'm not trying to knock KD. I'm not trying to knock LeBron. But that's what I've grown to know. And he brought everybody here, right? And he brought championships. Kobe brought championships here. Michael Jordan brought them here.
Yep.
LeBron bounced around a lot, and I kind of get why. But
understood.
You got to remember, I'm a competition guy. Like, Jordan wanted to guard his matchup. Yep. Jordan wanted to compete against all these other guys. Kobe wanted to compete against T-Mac, against LeBron. He wanted those. He wanted that smoke. When LeBron went to, and I give you a list of things why I'm not. I used to wear pro models. I was Vincent St. Married out.
Come on.
When he went in high school. Mm-hmm. When he stopped chasing smoke, in my opinion, and teamed up with Wade, I was cool. Like, I was like, all right, whatever. That's not in my conversation. Yeah. And I can understand why people have him as GOAT, and I respect that. But when you bouncing around and do all this stuff, some of the funnest games that I watched, one of them was when Dwayne Wade and LeBron played against each other, and I think they almost scored 30, or they did score. Both of them almost had 30 in the first half.
Going out.
And I'm like, bro, this is some of the best basketball I've ever seen. And then they teamed up.
Yeah, nah.
And like, bro, you robbing the fans of like great games, and I like people who just want to shoulder everything and just be the boss, right? Yeah. And win and be the best winner out there. If you got to go and go over here, I understand if there's management issues, whoop-de-whoop. Yeah. But like, I just feel like people would have came to Cleveland eventually. Yeah. Because he's that good.
Facts.
But he went and bounced around. He went here, he went there. It is what it is.
And that's what it comes down to, man. When I think about it, I don't got to get too deep into it. You covered a lot of things. GOAT comes down to peak dominance and mentality. And those are things you hit on, right? Like, your mentality is, if I'm going to have the wherewithal to stick through these tough moments and persevere through whatever situation I am and what challenge is placed in front of me, am I going to have that loyalty to where I'm at and fight for my team and my club no matter what and stick that out, right? Like, that's what goes into my idea of what a GOAT, and right? Like, your influence, right? He had that influence. Mm-hmm. Brown was one of those people that I feel like in the media day and age, some people that we really hyped up and social media was a thing, magazines, all that stuff. He was like the first player that really like got that type of hype in our era and followed through, right? So I can see why people put him in that category and his stats and his number and his longevity, but that ain't the game of basketball. Basketball about going to get a bucket, right? And going to get a championship and winning and all those other things that I mentioned. And those guys at the end of the game, right? Like even if you're going to pull up to a LA Fitness, right? If you think you the best player of the team, you shooting a shot.
Hey, when the fuck did it come? When the fuck did it become about like almost winning? Like, I don't remember that. Like
Getting there
I
and
just
losing?
grew up knowing like I remember this very vividly. When Kobe lost that first championship, he took it as like, I can't catch Jordan no more.
Yeah.
And now like I just feel like it's all flipped. Like, hey, look, yeah, he got 4 championships, but it's a team sport. But like then you want to use all these other things to uplift him. But now it's not about winning no more. But he's one. I was like, bro, I just value winning because that's just the generation. And I understand because I can flip it around and be like, okay, LeBron been to the championship so many times. Jordan fell short of even making the playoffs or whatever. And that's more money for everybody. Mm-hmm. So he's putting money in people's pockets. He putting money in the concession stands pockets, the bars around the gym.
On now.
So like I could also flip that. But like somebody said this the best. After those 4 if you take away the 4 championships, Jordan had another All-Star career.
Right after.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
You know? And he won 3 in a row twice. He did it twice. And then, you know, I'm done. Let me go play for the Wizards.
Come on.
Let me go
play
baseball. And it's just like, bro, like, you know, for whatever the reason, I just know Jordan kind of has like a certain aura about him that almost seems mythical. Sometimes not fair to LeBron.
Yeah.
How people view him. Yeah. And I understand
Chasing a ghost in
I
a sense,
wonder what would happen if they switched.
Yeah.
That's what I always wonder, like if LeBron came first. So I could play both sides of this. I just know what era I grew up in. Yeah. And I'm a Jordan guy. I'm a Jordan Kobe guy. That's it.
And we're going to tie that into the GOAT, man. It's a great conversation, man. And we got an opportunity to check out the GOAT film. Man, Stephen Curry, his film and his journey. And I think that's why sometimes he get that love on like kind of the GOAT side of things, his transcendent, you know, his ability to shoot, his ability to change the game, his gravity on defense, you know, how much attention he attracts. And his show or his story is going to show like that greatness isn't linear. Like he was an undersized recruit, 2-time MVP, 4 championships, all-time leader in 3-point percentage, you know, and 3-point makes by a large margin. Like it's without a doubt, Stephen Curry has changed how we view the game right now in today's day and age. He stuck with one team. He fought injuries a lot in his career. Like a lot of things go into, you know, why people like his mentality, right? And persistence is going to be one of those core traits and GOATs in my eyes and GOAT level performers. What are your thoughts on that?
He in my top 5. Steph Curry in my top 5. I don't care what nobody say. He got the same amount of championships as LeBron, and that's what I view it as, like playing to win a championship. Steph, you know, we talk about this movie. It's kind of low-key about him. Like for real.
No, facts.
And I know we're kind of running short on time, but Steph. Yes, he changed the game, but he's one of the best players. He's not just one of the best shooters. He's one of the best players. People like to go to the other end of things, but it's like, bro, like, he's not 6'8". He's not 6'7". He's not 6'5".
Come on.
You know, so he's not gifted with some of the things that people were, but for what he has, he does a pretty dang good job. And he affects the game. His offense is so good that it sent somebody to the hospital. You got to think about that, but he like literally, and I've heard Daly tell this story, like he used to go to St. Mary's. He used to go to St. Mary's, so like, I used to see him up there or whatever. But like his offense is so good that it tires you out so much that you have nothing left to shoot when it's time for you to get busy on the other end. You know, so me seeing that, how he impacts and how good it makes players who have never made a career on another team. Like, I see that, I'm like, bro, this is different. But going back to the movie, I think that this is going to be something that maybe adults won't resonate. Maybe they will. But, like, we saw it. And for kids, my son, I know he's going to be totally into it. And I think that for him, I think that it'll be his. Because how often do we get a basketball movie?
Not often.
How many basketball kids movies can you name?
Honestly,
Space Jam 1, Space Jam 2. Okay, got it.
that's about it. I mean, if it's not Disney movie, we talk about major in theaters movies. Like I can't name it.
Okay, Airbud, which is like naming a cartoon,
but it's not even about a person, right? Like it's not about like somebody you can identify with or personify, right? Yeah, like Mike. Like Mike was probably one, but it's so long ago.
How many basketball kids movies are there that are animated?
Yeah, I mean, that story that they told in GO is just it definitely rivals the story of Stephen Curry and his ability to go get a bucket.
Right.
Go get a bucket. Right? Like, that's what his basketball is about for me, and that's how it was made.
I'm going to say this, and I don't care if I'm wrong about this, but that horse in that movie is LeBron James.
Y'all got to see the movie. We got a chance to check it out. We checked out the GO movie, got a chance to sit down with two of the stars, Gabrielle Union, Caleb McLaughlin, to talk what really shaped their characters, their mindsets, what really helped them get into the role. So go ahead and play that clip here.
Wait, hold on. Before we do it. Space Jam 2, the Harlem Globetrotters, the team that changed the world. Rebound is not a... There's not that many.
How many did you say? Probably 4?
Just 3.
Three movies? 3 movies. So y'all
you don't know about this one?
I don't. I was on the Globetrotters. I didn't know about that movie. But y'all get the opportunity to see, kind of like our mindset and what we thought about the film. Great film.
Yeah.
Check it out if you get a chance. Take your son, take your daughter, take your niece, your nephew, or even take your girlfriend, your best friend, whoever. It's a movie for everybody. Your auntie, your uncle, everybody can take a little bit of something from this movie, from this film. I really enjoyed it myself. And like, it's all about like your skill, your work ethic, like just pushing through whatever. And like, that's the winning formula to a GOAT. Like elite skill, relentless work ethic, longevity, performance under pressure, cultural impact, and your ability to evolve, right? Evolution is a huge part of this. And those are going to be consistent traits across every GOAT on any level.
Real quick, we got a chance to interview Gabrielle Union, Patton Oswalt, and Caleb McLaughlin. You guys know him from Stranger Things, the black kid. Like, he's excellent. They all got like certain aura about them. But let's take a look at the video. I'm Devin Williams.
I'm Terai Brooks.
And you're watching the Winning Formula podcast presented by Ball is Life. Gabrielle Union, Caleb McLaughlin, you guys are superstars. Oh. You created the Space Jam for this generation. I believe so. And so my question for you is, when you got the role of Jet, did you talk to D Wade about it, or was it like, hey, yo, stay in your lane, I got this?
No, we talk about everything. But it's centered in the world that maybe perhaps he was kind of good in. But Jet is a very different player than him. So certain things I pulled for Jet of his from D's life was like becoming an aging athlete, where the greatness lives within you, but your body is betraying you, and how you have to adjust your playing style for your changing body, right? So I took that from him. The fact that Jet can kind of take over really any position, being able, being front row for the Heatles, that's Bron, right? That's like playing 1 through 5. That's the Bron of it all, and watching Bron evolve over the years, and as his body changes and age, Father Time is undefeated. How he's had to change his game to still dominate in his own way, but to fit what his body is allowing him to do on any given night. And then there's a little bit of Washington MJ, AJ. It was a different MJ. It was a different MJ. Yeah.
And if you guys had to describe the movie in one sentence for someone who hasn't seen it or heard of it before, how would you describe the film?
Ambitious. When I think of the movie, I think of ambitious. I think of the energy that Will is attracted to when it comes to Jet. Her ambition, like her tenacity when she walks on the court. You see that she's like, nah, I want this. I'm the king of this court. And that's what he's like, I want to be that. I want to do that. And you see the work that he puts in. Even with his friends, like, oh, what are you about to do? He's like, gotta go to the cage, gotta get that work in, can't stop. He was like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, gotta get to the roar ball. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta play in Violent Thorns. Can't stop, won't stop. So I think of the ambition. Yeah.
You guys both hoop. So can I dig up some some footage of you guys and make a Ballers Life mixtape, just let me know.
Please.
Of course.
I mean, it's out there.
Of course, yeah. I haven't seen you.
Oh, it's coming now.
It's you know, it's decade appropriate.
Okay.
You know, the shorts are the shorts from the late 80s, early 90s.
Definitely from the movies. I'm talking about like real like 1v1. Like,
Oh, no, I wasn't playing one-on-one unless it was like you have team camp at
Oh,
Pepperdine.
it don't matter. I need all.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like social media has not represented me well with hooping at all. I feel like I am pretty decent.
Hey, I got you.
Yeah.
Last question. You guys been around basketball, especially as of late. Who's the GOAT?
You obviously know we have this conversation in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT for my generation. Now, we could debate, you know, facts and figures, and I think my husband said it so eloquently to escape the conversation. The best one that I have personally seen in my life, and he went with Bron. He's like, but, you know, overall, it's Michael Jordan, because we is it mythifies? Did I just make that up? I don't know.
We'll roll with it.
Like we make him so legendary in every single
He's the
way.
comparison.
Yeah, like even if he wasn't always that, he is that. Yeah. So he's gonna be the GOAT. Like he's just bigger than the game in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I was actually talking about the movie, but we got it.
Oh,
Well, who's going to the movie?
Jeff Fillmore.
It's Jet Fillmore. But who's the actual?
Who's the
like,
actual GOAT?
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
I guess Will. Yeah. But Jet is the GOAT. That's who he aspires to be. You know.
We're here with Patton Oswalt, one of the stars of GOAT, an amazing movie, an amazing film. We loved your character, Dennis. So funny. And what really attracted you to this project to get you going on this film?
So many things. I mean, Steph Curry, Sony Animation. I'm a big Into the Spider-Verse fan. And then the character Dennis himself. I love characters who are authority figures who have zero authority. There's something so funny to me about someone who is in a position where they're supposed to be a leader and no one's listening to them and they are struggling. There's something so real and human about that, because we deal with that all the time. So any parent knows what I'm talking about, by the way. Any parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And getting to play Dennis was such a blast.
Was it hard? Like, you know, because you're in a lot of animated movies that my son loves, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Is it hard to get your humor across not being on screen? Because like some of those parts you had us rolling, but like you're not actually on the screen.
Well, what really helps, I thought the script was fantastic, but I had the director, Tyree, the co-director, was in the room with me, and he was so good at making me aware of what the atmosphere in each scene was. So especially that scene where I have that meltdown and just he goes, this is you, basically, you are roasting the team into greatness. Think of it that way. I'm like, oh, I got it. Like, I got what the energy is here. Like, yes, I'm unloading all this stuff on these teammates that are driving me crazy, but I also am, at my core, I'm a coach. I want them to do well. So getting to do both of those together to me was fantastic.
That was one of my favorite parts of the film, by the way.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, you did an amazing job. And when you think of the word GOAT, what does that mean to you personally?
GOAT to me is someone who knows that they are amazing, are confident in that they are amazing, but also realize other people are the ones who should be calling you the GOAT. You should not be calling yourself the GOAT. Anyone who calls themselves the GOAT is by definition not a GOAT. GOAT is what other people say about you.
I gotta ask, do you have a hoop career? Because you played this role so well, you convinced everybody in the theater.
I don't have a hoop career. I don't really follow basketball, but I do watch a lot of sports documentaries. That is something that I'm really obsessed with. So I kept drawing from, there's a great 30 for 30 called Winning Time, Reggie Miller versus the city of New York. And you can just see the coaches like pulling their hair out. That thing when the Indiana Pacers is behind and they think they're going to lose. And the one coach is like, I just locked myself in an office upstairs. I didn't even want to see it. And the guy's like, no, he just scored 9 points in 3 seconds. He's like, get out of here. You're lying to me. Like that frustration, I really, really drew from that, because I don't know how you put yourself through that season after season without it having an effect on you. So, and look at the way Dennis is drawn. The weight of the universe is on that guy's shoulders. Like, you really feel what he's been going through.
Kidding. No kidding.
Yeah.
And what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received from someone in this industry?
The best one I ever got as a comedian was there is no them. That whole idea of they're keeping me out of this. There's no one actually controlling. The only people that control things are the people who step up and take what it is, what they want, and create what they want. No one knows what they want until you do it so well that it's just undeniable. So get they out of your head. There's no they. No one knows what they're doing. So you're allowed to create your own thing and push it through.
I just want to thank you. My son is going to flip when he finds out that I interviewed you.
Oh,
I seriously thank you for your time, and I just want to wrap this thing up by saying, make sure you guys keep up with the Winning Formula podcast. You never know who we're going to interview. Shout out to Pratt and Oswald.
Thank you.
Ooh, I'm glad to be a part of it. Thanks, guys.
All right, let's see you
Thank
next
you.
time. And greatness ain't just a talent, y'all. It's in production, it's discipline, it's performance when everything is on the line. We sat down, we talked about what it takes to be a GOAT, what's the winning formula, and whether we're talking about Brady, Jordan, LeBron, the next generation, the pattern is always going to be consistent. Longevity, winning, impact, and your mentality. Shout out to all the GOATs in the game. That's the winning formula. If this episode sparked a debate in any kind, man, then we did our job, bro. You did your thing, I did my thing. Take this conversation back to the barbershop, man. Your locker room, anywhere, your group chats, whatever. Let us know what y'all think. Subscribe, save, share with a friend, and stay locked in with the winning formula. I'm your host, Bionic Brooks.
I'm Devin Williams.
And this is Powered by Ballers Life. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.